Your message is important to us. Please hold. Your message is important to us. Please hold. Your message is important to us. Please hold.
Looking for great value home insurance? Don't go online for an anonymous corporation who takes your money and abandons you. Choose High House, your local insurance company. High House Insurance don't pay to be on comparison websites, so your premiums are better value. For a free, no-obligation quote, call 606 552. High House Insurance. Local, reliable insurance. High Street, Chelsea.
Yes, Manhood Internet Radio, that's us, the voice of the community. And welcome back after our Christmas break. I hope this finds you fit and well after the Christmas indulgences and the New Year indulgences. And let's hope the New Year finds you healthy and prosperous, but mainly healthy. Money can't buy you everything, but as long as you got your health. Anyway, we've got a fairly short podcast for you this week, being our first one back. And we've got What's On, as usual. And we've also got an interview with some of the stars and production crew of the recent hit pantomime in Chelsea, which was Cinderella. Along with that, there'll be a couple of recipes, a little bit of music, and a look at the weather for the coming week. So that's it. Let's move on now with What's On. And we start with the Chelsea Centre and some of the stuff that's going on down there. But there's an awful lot going on this week. And if you'd like to see the full list, well, you can either visit their webpage or you can visit our webpage, which is www.manhoodradio.com, and look on our What's On page, and there'll be a full list and contact numbers. Right, well, just picking a few out here, there's a soft play fun session for the under fives with Tom and Sue at 9:30 till 11 on a Monday, and if you want more information on that, you can call 604 642. There's adult table tennis at 2:30 till 4:30, and information on that, contact 604 158. There's also Tai Chi beginners classes with Tracy Gibbons of Tai Chi. That's 4:30 till 5:30, and I think that's a 10-week program. My wife attends it, she swears by it. And there's also badminton available at from 2 until 8 p.m, and if you want to book that, you can call 603 836. On Tuesdays, well, there's a watercolour art class from 10 till 12:30, and you can contact Anita on 696 193. There's Pilates with Claire Pretorius from 3:30 till 4:30, and you can contact Claire on 603 077. And there's Zumba Fitness Party Dancing with Lisa Nino, and that's 6:30 till 7:30, and you can call Lisa on 0777 560 7409. On Wednesdays, well, on Wednesday there's the Wednesday workout from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. and contact Glenda on 601090 or Roz on 601724. There's legs, bums and tums aerobics, and that's from 6:15 to 7:15. You contact Emma on 077 486 38945. There's also Weight Watchers with Emma, and that's at 9:30 a.m. and contact her on 07762 796 877. That's a drop-in session. You can just call in there if you want to take part in that. And there's a dance club with Nadia Franklin. That's 9:30 till 10:30 a.m. on the Thursday. And you can contact Nadia on 0758 396 8422. That's already started. That started back in October, so get along and join in halfway through. There's also CDC Wellbeing Weight Loss Workshop, 11 a.m. till 12:45. You can contact Jessica on 01243 521 041. It certainly seems like them girls down at the Chelsea Centre are trying to get everybody fit, doesn't it? And slimmer. On Fridays, there's early morning Pilates with Claire Pretorius once again, 8:30 till 9:30, and you can contact her on 603 077. There's a soft play fun session. That's 9:30 to 11 with Sue and Tom. There's ballroom dance, private tuition, and this is by appointment only, and that's 7 till 8 p.m, and you call 776393. And there's an intermediate and improved level instruction and social dance 8 to 10 p.m. Well, that gives you something to be going on with down at the Selsey Centre. Well, also during the week we have on the Wednesday night at the 6th, we have a quiz night at the Seal. Now there's a cash prize and free drinks to be won, and that starts at about 8:45. And of course you can book a table for dinner and make an evening of it. Have some dinner down there. They do lovely food down at the Seal. And if you'd like to book a table for dinner and then go and take part in the quiz, well, you can do. And that's on 602-461. On Mondays at the Fisherman's Joy, they have a darts practice for anyone thinking about joining the darts team. So you can get down. That only costs you about £1. And also on Tuesday and Wednesday at the Fisherman's Joy, they have the Ace Poker League, which also only costs £1 admin fee, and you can join in that. And you play for points, and then those points go towards the end of the season, as it were, and you can win some big cash prizes then. And on Thursday night at the Joy, there's a quiz night there also, and that's £1 per head and a maximum of 8 people in a team. So if you can't get the answer right between 8 of you, well, I should take up bingo or something. Now, would you like to learn to cook, or would you like to learn to cook better than you do? Well, people who want to learn to cook and parents who want to solve mealtime headaches are invited to join free cookery sessions. Cook with Confidence is a free 6-week course aimed at individuals, parents and carers in Chichester and Selsey, in a bid to encourage people to cook more often and help them create delicious meals and snacks from scratch. There are 2 courses starting on Friday the 15th of January, which include free ingredients and tasty recipes. They will be held at Swanfield Community Centre, Chichester from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and at Selsey Town Hall in the High Street from 10:30 until 12:30. Places can be booked by calling 07747 017 372 or emailing info@healthchampions.co.uk. Participants will cook and eat together at each session with an option to take home extra portions. Course leader Karen Dennison said, "Cooking for a family can be a nightmare, especially on a limited budget, but our sessions get children and adults having fun in the kitchen and creating delicious, healthy family meals. So if you want to learn how to cook healthily and on a budget, then start 2016 with our practical course. Many people have never been shown how to cook a meal from scratch, so we teach them in hands-on fun cooking sessions." And for more information you can visit www.health-champions.co.uk. And that's just a brief look at some of the things that are going on in and around Selsey the coming week. Now, popping across to Bracklesham and the Witterings. Well, at Bracklesham Barn we've got similar sort of stuff going on. There's a little Ducklings Toddlers group on a Monday, and that starts at 9:30 until 11. And if you need to contact any, you need to contact Nikki Holes. From 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. there's short mat bowls, and if you want to find out more about short mat bowls, well, you can get hold of organiser George Thomas on 673 099. And at 7 p.m. until 8:30 in the evening there's Yoga Fit. If you want to take part in that, well, you need to contact Elaine Benson. On Tuesdays there's gentle yoga and relaxation. This starts at 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. and that's in the community room, and you can contact Elaine Benson on 672 008. There's also badminton on a Tuesday. That starts at 7:30 p.m. till 11 p.m. and the organiser for that is Helen Robertson, and she can be contacted on 672 415. And also there's Pilates, and if you'd like to take part in the Pilates, well, that's from 7:30 till 8:30 p.m. and the organiser Natalie Owen can be contacted on 0773 824 9612. And now for something completely different. On Wednesdays there's belly dancing. Well, good job I don't try that with my belly. If I got that going I'd never stop it. And this starts at 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. and the organiser for that is Jen Lee, and you can contact Jen Lee at Jen, that's Jen, at jenlee, JENNLEE.eu, and you get more information on belly dancing. And there's also Zumba with Louise. That's 6:30 until 7:30 p.m. and you can contact Louise on 674 588, or you can email her at flamingforsters, that's FLAMINFORSTERS @gmail.com. And also there's a sweat zone, and that starts at 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. Sounds far too difficult for me. And that's Sue that's organising that, and you can contact Sue on 07842 664 723. On Thursdays, well, we've got Busy Bugs Toddlers Gym, and that's 9:15 till 12:15, so hopefully the dear little ones will be tired out after that, and their mum can have a nap in the afternoon. And you need to contact Anna Milliken West on 0753 130 5219. And also for children, there's an art class, and this starts at 4:30 until 5:30. What a wonderful idea. And that's with Anita Beckwith, and you can contact Anita on 07801 816625, or you can email her at ajbeckwith@yahoo.com. And on Fridays, for the bowlers amongst you, well, there's short mat bowls, and this is from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. And if you'd like to take part in that, well, you can contact the organiser, George Thomas, and that's on 673 099. And finally, on Sunday at the Bracklesham Barn, you've got the Windrush Church Fellowship Group, and that starts at 10:30 until 12 midday. And Pastor Andy Stevens will be glad to hear from you on 673 132, or on his mobile on 07852 221 609. So if you're an organiser of an event coming up and you'd like it mentioned, well then please contact us at manhoodinternetradio@gmail.com, or phone us on 07551 93019. Last Wednesday found me at Selsey Town Hall, and I'd gone there to watch a panto. Well, I'm just trying to get backstage at the Town Hall after the Cinderella pantomime, and see if we can have a chat with a few people.
Okay.
Gentlemen of the press.
You all right, mate?
Not bad at all. You two look wonderful. I'm now talking to the ugly sisters, as they were, Pete Driscoll and Les Hilton.
Hello, mate.
Now you make a habit of doing this, don't you?
Who, me? Never.
Both of you, I think.
Even on a Saturday night in Pompey, he goes.
Well, yeah, you know. If everybody out there enjoyed it half as much as you guys seemed as if you were doing, it was wonderful.
It's hard work, but we really do enjoy it.
Yeah, and it shows. You really do look like
Great audience as well, which really helps.
That was good.
And you've had full houses nearly all week?
Yeah, sold out. Everyone, yeah.
Everyone, yeah?
Everyone.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Really good this year.
Thanks for talking to us, guys. I'll let you get on with getting some clothes on or off, whichever. Thanks. Right, well now I've got away from the hustle and bustle a bit and found a quieter spot. Let's see if I can find somebody to talk to. Hold on, there's Sue Graves. Hi, Sue.
Hi Keith, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm glad to be out of the buzz of that little dressing room there. Now, Sue's the director of the pantomime Cinderella that was been on and been extremely successful between Christmas and New Year, and I believe it was 6 sellouts. So.
It was. We have sold 600 tickets. We couldn't believe it. It's the first time we've ever had a returns queue of people waiting to see if people who'd bought a ticket didn't turn up. I've never known this.
Well, when we turned up here this evening, there were people waiting then, and we were one of the first there, and there were people waiting. So that's extraordinary. Is there some reason you think that this year particularly it's been sold out 6 shows? Or
I think Cinderella's a very popular show. I think it's probably one of the most popular pantomimes. All the little girls love it. In fact, we even had little girls turning up dressed as Cinderella, which I've never actually seen before.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I mean, I just wondered if it was because people hadn't gone away this year, or if there was some underlying reason. Because I was amazed to find it sold out. Not that it wasn't worth it. I mean, it was absolutely worth it, and I'm sure everybody that went would say exactly that. It was a great show.
I think part of it might have been is that we did a youth production of Grease in August.
Yes, which I also went to,
which
and was
we sold
tremendous.
over 400 tickets to, and I think perhaps people are realising that the local productions are actually really worthwhile coming to see.
Well, that's good to
And
hear.
they're tremendously good value for a £5 ticket for a youngster to come and spend 2 hours on an afternoon.
Well, the
I
thing
don't
is
think
with
you're going to
that-
get much better value than
No,
that, really.
it's to the youngsters. It's pretty much the same as seeing it anywhere. And of course, if it's only cost you a £5, because youngsters do sometimes get a bit fed up after a little while. if you had to leave, it hasn't cost you the earth, has it? Although I don't think anybody did leave, certainly not while I
I
was there.
think we had, according to Jeremy, who was out the front doing the lighting, we had one child that actually had to get carried out over 6 performances, which I don't think is bad, actually.
That's pretty good. That's extremely good. Now, also with me at the moment, we've got Mike Brummel, and Mike was responsible for all the props and set decoration and stuff like that, I believe, and all the bright ideas, one of which I have to say had me astounded, and that was the carriage. It just worked. It was so simple, and it worked so well, because I wondered how they going to make this carriage, how are they going to get a carriage through it. It was incredible, so simple, it's so effective. But of course, I wouldn't have thought of it, and so you've obviously thinking on a different plane to the rest of us, Mike. But I believe you worked for the BBC at one stage. And,
yes, 15 years at the BBC.
15 years.
Scenery and props. So
well, you should have some fair idea of what you're doing.
Picked up a few ideas. Yes, the idea for the coach, I just saw the pumpkin that was made, and I thought we wanted something the shape of a pumpkin, and we happened to have a couple of hula hoops in the garage. And I thought if I put those on a frame and put lights around them, and had 2 people carrying it like a sedan chair. We needed to get through the kitchen, out through the kitchen door, so it couldn't be too big. So we had to frame one up and measure it and cut bits off so it would get round. And it's worked quite well, as you say.
It worked extremely well in my book. I was gobsmacked when I saw it.
Simple.
Just to think how simple it was to do. And I'd been sitting there racking my brains for 3/4 of an hour or whatever, wondering how they were going to do it, if they were going to do it. Only to find out, you'd made it look so simple. So I congratulate you on that, because I didn't stop talking about it all night. Now, Jerry, you're the youth coordinator.
I am indeed, yes.
And your job, I guess, is to keep them all under control.
That's one way of putting it.
If anybody doesn't know Jeremy, he's about 6'8" and a big fella. So
I'm the big friendly giant, as I've been called many a time.
Absolutely. but quite frightening just by his size. So hopefully that would keep some of them under control. But of course, a lot of them know him and know that he's a big friendly giant and probably take advantage. So what is it you actually had to do as youth coordinator?
When it comes to youth coordinator, to me, it's not just about the one show, because Cloud9 has been going for so long now, and one of our goals was always to be able to give the youth, for want of a better way of just encompassing everybody, a chance to get on stage, to learn about performing, perhaps to develop some skills through Cloud9 to help them in their daily life. And I feel that I've ultimately just been the conduit, there's a good word, the conduit, but just of all the different generations of families we have in Cloud9 now. And I'm sort of the one, in many ways, I feel like I'm sort of a thread between all the different generations and who's come and who's gone on to bigger and better things, or who comes back after a while. Because inevitably, we never know who's going to be involved in each show. We just see what's going at the time, we analyse what we have, and we do the best we can with everybody that is there. And so for me, what I feel my primary role is just to try and encourage everyone, make sure they're confident with what they're doing, try and be an easy presence, because everybody there knows me. I'm a really friendly person. It takes a heck of a lot to get me even remotely angry. I like to be a calming presence, and I like to liven the mood.
That bit I'm thankful for, I've got to add.
I like to liven the mood, and when it comes to being backstage, sometimes it's just as simple as asking people, how are you doing? Any problems? Or just gathering the team around, and we actually do a big group warm-up backstage, which Simon, who was involved in the sound production, he would very much lead that portion of it, and then we would all gather around, have a quick team talk, if you will. And I feel that's really the most important part of what I do, is it's making sure that everyone is being a team. Because going back to what you were saying about the scenery design and such, in the grand scheme of things, it works really well because we keep it very simple and direct with all the shows that we do.
Yes,
it works really well.
That is noticeable. Simple signs saying, Palace as well, whatever. It just plants that seed in your head, and it doesn't need any more. It doesn't need a great big backdrop or big set or something like that. It's just there, and it's you've got it in your head, and you know the palace is that way. Which I suppose it works. It must work for everybody because it works for simpletons like me.
But the other thing as well, though, is when you look at the different demographics of people coming to the shows themselves, it echoes the cast. I mean, so off the top of your head, what was the age range, probably roughly, of the cast? Who's our youngest performer this year?
I think our youngest performer was 6. And I won't say who the eldest one was.
No.
Because he's sitting here.
But when you look at the demographics of people involved in the show and you combine that with the demographics of people coming to the show, we had children younger than 6 coming to watch this pantomime, and sometimes, and I'm sure Mike you can back me up on this, it's sometimes less is so much more, just so children can understand things really, really simply, and they're in the story. We've seen children almost look like zombies watching a story because they are so enthralled with what is going on stage. And it's really great to see. So to try and give you a concise answer to your question, I feel my role as youth coordinator is very much to just be that conduit for the youth. Just being there if they want to have a quick chat, if they've got any questions. I have a very big performance and acting background myself, so if they want to go through lines or ask for suggestions, I'm an open book. They can ask me whatever they want. But one of the parts I really get a kick out of is seeing how everybody develops from show to show. And I think being youth coordinator, that is what I see the most. When we look back to Greece earlier this year and coming onto the pantomime that has just happened, the level of development of some of the people involved is astounding. Just how much they've come on, and be it because they've taken experiences from Greece or they've built up something in their minds during the production process of Cinderella.
I think one or two of them that I noticed certainly seemed to be a bit more confident now than they were in Greece. They seemed a bit uncertain, although they were extremely good, but they seemed a bit uncertain. Now they seem to have a little bit more confidence, and so they're taking the part, bull by the horns, as it were, and getting stuck into it. The one thing that sticks out to me, of course, being a local, is how many families were involved in it, and how many members of certain families were involved in it. Because you had Abby and her dad, and Abby played Cinderella, for those of you that don't know. But then there were the Bensley family, 5 of those.
We had 3 generations of Bensleys.
3 generations of Bensleys.
3 generations of Bensleys.
So 3 generations of the same family taking part in the panto, which is extraordinary.
It's lovely. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Looking at it, from outside, of course, people that didn't know, or they might know if they've read the programme, they think, well, that's strange. They're all the same family, and they're the same family, and perhaps it's a closed shop. Certainly not the case. I do know that. It's not the case. If you ever want to take part in any of this, you just have a look out for when it's being sorted out initially, when they're looking for people to take part in it, and go along and do it. If you're over the age of 6 and you'd like to take part in next year's event, keep your eyes open for it. There is, of course, Cloud9. Is Cloud9 up and running fully, Sue, or does it...
No, it is. We are going to be starting some youth workshops. We'll be starting those for people who just want to sort of join and see what we're all about.
Yeah.
Then we will be doing a summer production again, and then obviously another panto.
Well,
so there will be an opportunity, and if people just look at our website, absolutely all the information will be on there.
www.
I believe it is cloud9selzy.moonfruit.com.
Yes,
That's a bit of mouthful.
Or if all else fails, if you search for Cloud9 Selzy on Facebook, it should pop up.
Okay.
But we'd be delighted to see anybody.
Yes, it'd be lovely to see. It's always good to see new faces. As you know, I've had quite a bit to do with Sakos over the past 4 or 5 years, but not this year. And it's good to see some new faces coming in there and putting themselves forward to parts, because us old fossils can't last forever. So we need some good ones in there.
Well, just from us, I think we'd just like to say thank you to the 600 people who came and watched us, because without you lot, we couldn't perform.
Well, you could, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as much fun,
would it?
No interaction.
One thing that really sticks out, actually, just talking about the people who came to see the show, is one thing we notice every year is word of mouth of our shows is such a key element to people wanting to come and see them if they hadn't decided already or were maybe on the fence. And it's wonderful to see that much community spirit is still about in Selzy. That one person can tell someone, did you go and see that panto? You should really check it out. that message spread to a few other people, and before you know it, as was the case this year, we've sold 600 tickets, which is amazing to me.
When I pulled up and was going to go across to the car park and park my car, and it was raining and it was horrible, and I thought, I could probably sit outside the town hall in my car and tout these tickets and sell them for 4 times what their face value is. But I'm sure that'll be happening, of course. Next year, people will be buying tickets in their 10s and 20s with the hope of putting them on eBay or somewhere, or FaceBay or whatever, and selling them. So, fame at last. Well, thanks very much for the brief insight into what goes on, Sue. I mean, I know it's awfully busy just at the moment for you, and I'm glad to have got you to one side somewhere quiet, because the hubbub in the dressing room, we wouldn't have been able to hear each other speak. There's an absolute buzz in the dressing room, and people are trying to get changed, and they're trying to get ready to go to the pub, I guess, if I know any of them. And it just finishes off that sense of, you almost feel like they're coming into land now. They've had 6 shows, all tremendous success, and they're coming into land, but they're giving it a bit of boost because they don't want to land just yet. So it's a tremendous feeling, and thank everybody, thank you, Mike, for props, and thank you, Jeremy, for looking after the youngsters, and just thank you for the show, because I think I'm saying that on at least the behalf of 600 people, and possibly a lot more that couldn't get tickets. Thanks once again.
Thank you, Keith.
Thanks very much. Right, well, I'm waving my arms about here like a lunatic trying to attract somebody's attention, and I can see 2 young ladies coming towards me. If I can get their attention, the 2 stars of the show, which is Abby Robinson and Mary Bensley, who played Cinderella and Prince Charming. Hey girls, you got a minute?
Yeah.
Brilliant, thanks. Right, now I've got, as I said, Abby Robinson and Mary Bensley with me. Great show, what can I say?
Oh, thank you.
And
nice.
6 sellouts, incredible. I know how difficult it is to sell out these shows. To sell all 6 out is incredible, so congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
It was obvious that you enjoyed doing it.
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was absolutely obvious, and it comes across to everybody. Probably the people having most fun are the people up on the stage, which is quite
nice. Exactly. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
If that comes across, then that's absolutely brilliant. Now, you've been doing it. I know you 2 have been doing shows for a number of years, and pantos especially. So
10, 11 years. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, that long.
So you must have been the youngest when you started, then, probably.
Oh yeah. We were the little ones that come on at the beginning scene, and then you don't see us again till the end. And now we're like,
and then we'd only pop in just with chorus numbers. And,
exactly. And now we're like,
no, you don't get seen off
again.
Really.
Yeah.
I'm back.
It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's brilliant that you find it interesting enough to carry on doing it at the ages you're at now. I mean, girls your age now probably thinking, well, I don't know, I ain't got time for that. I'm too busy out buying clothes and stuff. But
I'm doing my degree in it.
Well, yeah, exactly that. Yeah, but to carry on for all those years, you really must enjoy it, and it does show through. Now, what amazes me about the panto, not only the panto, but other shows that go on, but especially the panto, is how many families are involved in it. Because I know you and your dad were in it.
Yeah.
Abby, your dad playing Baron Harder, and I know Mary. Nearly all your family.
My family took up half the cast.
What were there, 5 years? 5 years?
Yeah, 5 this time.
5, and of course not only yours. There was Les Hilton and his family. And others, the Townsends certainly, and
Latchford, Louise Latchford,
Louise
and
Marie.
Mm.
So yes, it's now. Do you get any sort of that's our family's bit, this is our family's bit, and or is it all pulling together? Because it looks like it's pulling together.
I think it is pulling together. Yeah, because one person gets a part and you think, okay, well that's nice one, and then you get a different part. So it's not all your family's doing this and your family's doing that. It's all very much we want you to do this bit and we want you to do this bit. So it's not just as a group. You are still individuals.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, doing it with your parents, you don't have any problems with that.
No. If anything, it's probably more helpful because then they're there to remember stuff that you might forget. They're there to read lines. It's something that you have fun doing all together, I find.
Do you find that they're your biggest critics as well? They'll tell you, they're the first to tell you if you're doing something not right, or...
No, mine's like, my biggest critic is my mum's close friend Vera, and she came to the show with her family down from, I can't remember where they came from, but there was about 10 of them, and they actually gave us a standing ovation at the end. So they absolutely loved it. So we were buzzing that, because they're our biggest critics.
Well, the buzz backstage, as I say, I came through the changing room just now and spoke to Les and Pete. Well, that's an experience in itself. To see them two in a state of undress is not a pretty sight. You don't realise how ugly the ugly sisters are.
No.
But they really enjoyed it. Now, looking on towards the rest of the year, there's obviously more shows taking place. Have you got plans to be in those?
Oh yeah, definitely, big plans. Because obviously did the choreography for Grease and Panto now for a couple of years. So I think I'm going to be taking on that responsibility again for the summer show. So we're just looking through all of the shows that actually have the rights available, and we're actually looking for adult versions of the show. So it's not just the youth version. So maybe that can help us expand, and it helps us, me and Mary in particular, and Sam and Dan, be able to still do it, because if you do the youth version, no one over the age of 18 is allowed to do it, so you lose half of your cast.
Yeah.
But we all have big plans of sticking to it. I don't know, I haven't spoken to Mary, but I certainly have plans of doing it.
Thing is, it's good fun. You meet a lot of people, and actually you grow quite a family-orientated relationship with everyone, which would be a shame to lose for the sake of, just, oh no, I don't feel like doing it this year.
Well, you can take that from me as being gospel, because I did exactly that. I said, I'm going to have a year out from Sakos this year, and I missed it terribly, because it's not just being up there doing the shows, it's it's the rehearsals. When you go to rehearsals, you think it's quite a busy schedule, rehearsing a couple of times a week. But as you say, that you then form a sort of family, and everybody's interested. Somebody's not well, everyone's people want to do stuff for you. It really is a big family, and as I say, I know I've missed it terribly this year. I shan't be missing it next year. But,
we want you back.
Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I know you're probably ready to get changed and get up the pub now with the rest of them, because I know that's what the cast usually does.
How did you know?
I'm going to bed.
Well, there you go. Anyway, thanks for your time. Thanks for stopping and having a chat and filling us in on how it all goes for you superstars. And we'll see you again soon.
See you later. Thanks, Keith.
Bye.
Well, sadly, that's all we've got time for backstage here at the Town Hall. But I would urge you, do keep your eyes open for any of these amateur productions that are going on throughout the year. They're well worth the ticket money, and I think this show just proves that point. We go across to the kitchen now, where we've got a couple of very nice recipes for you. Now, how about this for a breakfast recipe? Breakfast sausage casserole. Sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah, well, it is good, I promise you. And this is what we need. 1/2 kilo of pork sausage meat, 1 teaspoonful of mustard powder, 1/2 teaspoonful of salt, 4 beaten eggs, 2 cups of milk, 6 slices of white bread toasted and cut into cubes, and 8 ounces of grated mild cheddar cheese. And this is what we do. Crumble the sausage meat into a medium frying pan and cook over a medium heat until it's nice and evenly brown. Then drain that off, put that to one side. Now, in a medium bowl, mix together the mustard powder, the salt, eggs and the milk, and add the sausage meat,
and the bread cubes and the cheese, and stir it all together so it's all nice and evenly coated, and then pour that into a greased 9 by 13 inch baking dish, cover it, and then stick it in the fridge overnight or for about 8 hours and leave that there. Right, now in the morning when you want your breakfast, or before you want your breakfast, preheat the oven to 175 degrees centigrade or 350 degrees Fahrenheit, whichever you like. Cover the dish and bake for about 45 to 60 minutes, then uncover it and reduce the temperature to 165 degrees or 325 degrees Fahrenheit and bake for an additional 30 minutes until it's set. And that's it, simple. Once it's done, take it out, ready to go. Lovely breakfast. Get a few friends around because it'll feed about 6 of you. And it's a great breakfast, good start for the day. Right, well, this recipe's an interesting one for those of you with a busy lifestyle, because this one's cooked in a slow cooker. And it's cabbage rolls stuffed with minced beef, onion and rice, and covered in a sweet and tangy tomato sauce. Right, and this is what we need. We need 12 cabbage leaves, 1 cup of cooked white rice, 1 beaten egg, 1/4 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of minced onion, half a kilo of extra lean minced beef, 1 1/4 teaspoons of salt, 1 1/4 teaspoons of ground black pepper, 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, 1 tablespoonful of brown sugar, 1 tablespoonful of lemon juice, and 1 teaspoonful of Worcester sauce. And this is what we do. Bring a large pot of water to the boil and boil the cabbage leaves for about 2 minutes, and then take them out and drain them off. Now, in a large bowl, combine 1 cup of cooked rice, the egg, the milk, the onion, the minced beef, the salt and the pepper. Mix that all up, and now place about 1/4 cup of meat mixture in the centre of each cabbage leaf and roll it up. Make sure you tuck the ends in, or it'll all fall out. And place the rolls in the slow cooker. And in a small bowl, mix together the tomato sauce, the brown sugar, the lemon juice and the Worcestershire sauce, and pour that over the cabbage rolls. Now, put the top back on the slow cooker and cook on low for about 8 to 9 hours. So by the time you get home from work, they'll be ready. Wonderful dish. And here we have a look at the weather for the coming week. Well, on Wednesday, should be mainly dry, just a 10% chance of rain, and temperatures around 8 degrees, with a wind at only 9 miles an hour. It shouldn't be too bad at all. Thursday's going to be a bit different, because Thursday is a 90% chance of rain and the wind's picking up. Although they're coming from the west-northwest, they'll still be at 24 miles an hour, so it's quite a blustery day and very wet. Friday there's a 70% chance of rain, winds dropping back a bit to 18 miles an hour. Saturday's a 90% chance of rain, 11 degrees, winds picking up again then to 26 miles an hour, so a very blustery and wet, windy Saturday. Sunday, 70% chance of rain, 10 degrees, winds dropping back a bit to 20 miles an hour. And on Monday, well, only a 50% chance of rain. We almost be thankful for that, won't we? And winds dropping back to 15 miles an hour and a temperature of 10 degrees. So over the next week or so, a very blustery, very wet, pretty miserable week to look forward to. And that's about it for this week, sadly. It just leaves me to say thank you to our producer John Fletcher, to our researcher Jill Barnes. This is Keith Barnes saying thank you for joining us, and see you again soon. Bye for now.